Hey guys, it's Sunday evening here in Manila, so I'm going to go ahead and do our premium unboxing video for the beginning of the new week to come. So, as I said, on Saturday night, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. It was going to be Hot Wheels, but wasn't sure, so I figured we would turn back the clock about 25 years and take a look at some of the 100% black box stuff. Or oil can and window boxes and blister packs and etc. But anyways, the 100% cars. And this is probably some of the most detailed and exact to scale 1/64th cars Hot Wheels ever produced. As far as my knowledge goes back, they started these type of high-end multi-piece cars in about 97 in their Legends series, like when they were doing 1/24th with 1/64th, like Snake and Mongoose, Cadzilla, Twin Mill, some NASCARs, and so on. So it kicked off in about 97 because that's when they started their, I guess you could say, endeavor with NASCAR was back in 97. So anyways, they started this, and then in 98, it was their 30th anniversary, and I think they started doing some, like, Hot Wheel collectible stuff. I don't think they had called it 100% until about 2000. But these kind of cars carried over until about 2002, 2003, and that was the last time we seen any of these multi-piece, higher-end adult collectible style cars from Hot Wheels. I may be wrong on the ending year, but I believe it was around 02, 03, something like that. But we've seen these cars come in a variety of different packages. There were the most famous, the black box with the acrylic display cases. I think that's the most popular one with the single car. But they also did like sets of 2 cars and 4 cars. I don't think anything ever exceeded 4 cars. Then you had your window box, which was rare. You didn't see too many of those, but they do exist, and I have one to show you tonight. Then they had the ones that people referred to as oil cans because they looked like the old 50s oil cans, but they were actually tires. They were shaped like a round, like a tire, and on the top of the lid it had a mag on top to represent like a tire. But still, they acquired that nickname oil can because they are the same size almost as a 1950s, 60s style oil can. Then you even had blister packs. A lot of times the blister pack stuff was the cheaper models, but they all had rubber tires and such, but they may be plastic base and not as much detail, and they didn't have any opening parts, and they were based off the mainline cars. But the stuff in the boxes and acrylic cases were more based on one-off cars designed for that series. So anyways, let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of these. I got a few of them laid out in front of you that I couldn't find the boxes for, but I wanted to give you guys a look at all of them. And first off, I'll start with my warning. Like I always tell you guys, these black box cars are notorious for the rubber bands eating the paint. So if you have any that still have the rubber bands and it does not look like it ate the paint, I highly suggest you open them and take the rubber bands off. Because really, think about it guys, who are you saving these for? If you are saving them to sell in the secondary market in the future, then nobody's going to want to buy them if the paint's shot to hell. So you might as well open them, take the rubber bands off before they destroy the paint of the car. And then if you're not saving them to sell in the secondary market in the future, then you don't want your cars destroyed. So why preserve them in the package? Open them and take those rubber bands off. I have a couple that it started to do some damage. Nothing severe, but some. This one here is one of them. This is the Hustler, Chi-Town Hustler Charger Funny Car, which is very nice. Came in the acrylic case, black box. But as you can see, like how the paint is faded over here on the fender, that's where the rubber band laid down. And luckily it didn't eat all the way through, but it did eat the clear and did mess up the tampos on the side. But still, it's displayable, it's tolerable. And then it did start eating almost down to the metal here across the hood. And once again, down the other side, ate the clear off. And on the base, it didn't get it. But it will even eat the paint on the base. I have a couple that I'll show you that it did that too. But yeah, this is about as worse as mine gets. This is the worst one of all of them. But still, as I said, it's displayable. And worst case scenario, if it does eat your car down to the metal, you could try to touch it up. And like this one, you can't touch up because of the like one-off style tampos. You would have to just repaint the whole body and then hopefully like have somebody reproduce the tampos. But you're better off just to try to save them while you can. But yeah, this is a really nice one. This is the nicest version of the Chi-Town Hustler out there. Johnny Lightning made an attempt, but it's not so good. It's kind of more toyish looking, but this one is spot on. And this Charger Funny Car was solely designed for the 100% series. This casting no longer is being used. They should have released it in the Drag Strip Demons because they didn't even release a 71 Charger casting in the Drag Strip Demons. So wish they would re-release some of these black box cars or reuse some of the castings. Maybe not go so detailed with the chassis and stuff, not so many multi-parts, but the body would be awesome to see again. So once again, here's some cars you may see in the main line, like 70 Monte Carlo. This came from a 4-car set from the Voodoo set. It actually had a black hearse with flames and then had some other blue custom car that looked really strange. It looked like it was based on like a Studebaker almost, but this is the only one I got from that 3-car box set. I believe it was only 3 cars. It may have been 4, but I don't remember what the other one was. Actually, Danny at Danny's Diecast, he just did a segment on this box set, but I didn't get to see the video yet. I just seen the thumbnail for it, so you guys may want to check it out to see the whole complete set. He's also got a pretty good channel. Anyways, this car has adjustable suspension and so off, and once again, these did have rubber bands on it, so you want to get them out. But what I was saying is, like, the 70 Monte Carlo didn't really appear in the main line until, I think, like 2011. But this car appeared back in, like, 99 or 2000 in that set, but not the same casting though. As you can see, this is highly detailed compared to the mainline one, and also this one has the fender skirts in the casting, unlike the mainline is fully open wheel wells. And that's one thing strange on these Monty, the first gen Monty, you could get fender skirts for them. You don't see them too often, but you could get them. So highly detailed, very nicely done car. Even the interior is very nice, like separate chrome steering wheel, detailed gauges, everything. And as I said, the adjustable suspension, it's kind of mounted on a pivot ball, so it's kind of cool. It doesn't break so easy like the U-shaped plastic brackets on the Revell lowriders. I really like the Revell lowriders, and they look a little more realistic than this, but they're a lot more fragile. Another one that they just released in 2009 or 2010 as a first edition, 71 Charger RT, but this car dates back to 2000. That's when they made this black box car. I'm really surprised they didn't use this casting for the main line, but they didn't, and it's a very nice car. I guess because it has the multi-pieces with the front bumper and rear bumper, they couldn't integrate it into like the interior bucket, but these are really, really nicely done cars. This came from another box set, a 4-car box set of 1971 muscle cars, I think it was called. It had 71 Chevelle, I believe like 71 Cuda, and a couple of others. But 71 Buick GSX was one of them too. But that's where this guy came from. They only have 2 variants of this car. I have the other one to show you too. You may have already seen it in my Mr. Norm's diorama a few times. Then we have the 59 Cadillac Woody. And as you can see, the paint's faded on the top. I think they made it to look this way because every single variant I found of this has the faded paint on top. But the other variants they make of this stain are done very nicely with like nice shiny gloss paint. There's a yellow one in the black box, and then there is a turquoise one from the Hard Rock Cafe set. So, once again, I think the paint was made this way. And then you could see also where the rubber bands on this one started dulling the paint a little bit. I'm thinking about trying rubbing compound on it, but I'm not sure. It may be too late. It may have already ate the clear, so I'm just going to leave it alone so I don't rub it all the way down to the metal. And since this already has like faded paint to the primer on top, this kind of looks kind of suited. It kind of matches the patina of the car, so not really worried about it. And it did come with these surfboards that do come out, and which are really cool. And it's also one of these like castings that are very sought after. They make a really cool hearse too. As I said, that's in that Hard Rock Cafe set. It's in the Voodoo set, but they make two black box variants that are the nicest because they look stock. There's an all black one and an all white one. Now, as I was telling you guys, the blister packs, usually the 100% cars were not so detailed. Like the Thunderbolts I unboxed the other week in the Hot Wheels segment on Monday with just race cars. And they were nice paint, nice tampos, but they were based off a mainline car, not some multi-piece 100% car. This one, on the other hand, was a multi-piece 100% car that did make it into a blister pack, but I still think they were like $7 or $8 each. This car existed way before the mainline one did. They didn't launch the mainline Superbird until 2006 as a first edition. This car was launched in 99 or 2000. And this one is based on a NASCAR, and that's all it can ever be used for. As you can see, the radius wheel openings, the slam suspension, the cage, the window net. They could always alter the interior, but they can't alter this body. The body is altered to look like NASCAR style. Chassis is also very, very nicely done, and it is made to look like a NASCAR chassis. This is like one of the most beautiful chassis I've ever seen on a blister pack car from Hot Wheels. It's very, very nicely done. And then opening hood with a detailed chrome engine. Black interior, so the engine's not part of the interior bucket. Multi-piece casting, beautifully done. Love this car. They have some other nice ones in, like the, well, they did start releasing some of these again, because now to think about it, they had the 40th anniversary stuff in 2008, and they did have a couple Superbirds. So they did continue with some of the black box multi-piece cars until 2008. After that, though, I think they kind of just diminished and went away. But I do remember now the 40th anniversary did have some of those. And unfortunately for the 50th anniversary being more of a milestone than 40th, they did not release any of these type of cars, which I find a little bit disappointing. So anyways, let's move along to a oil can. This has already been open, as you can see. The car scoots around because I wanted to get the rubber bands off. So all of these have been previously open, guys. Nothing has not been unopened before. None of these are virgins, so everything's been open. This is the 57 Chevy Funny Car, which I really love. This car first appeared in 1997 in a 4-car set for the 50th anniversary of 1957. And as you can see, as I said, the oil cans are actually made to look like mags. You can see the tire tread on the top and the mag spokes with the disc rotor behind it, with the brake caliper, everything. They did a pretty cool job with like trying to mimic the wheel and tire thing. But as I said, they earned the nickname oil can because of what they look like and such. So we're going to take this apart and get this 57 Chevy out and take a look at him. And this is a very cool car. They have it in the black box in Hot Wheel racing trim, which is really cool. Blue and white with Hot Wheels on the side. Then they make a turquoise one that looks almost like a 57 Chevy turquoise paint. Then the one from that Legends set that is supposedly supposed to be Mongoose McEwen's variant of the car. But this is a very cool casting. One of my favorite 57 Chevys. Very detailed engine compartment with the gas tank up front, a fire extinguisher system, highly detailed engine. I mean, they went all out on these cars. They're gorgeous. And I know people used to complain about $10 or $12 or something. I don't think they went for over $10, but they were well worth it. I mean, look at today's cars that we're paying $6, $7, $8 for, and they're nothing of this caliber. Like mini GTs, they're very, very nice. I would put them at this caliber, but you're limited on only Euro and Japanese stuff, no American classics. They do have an American car coming up, the C8 Vet, but still it's not a classic. Well, maybe it's a future classic, I guess you could say. So here's the other Charger I was telling you about. It comes in Plum Crazy, and it was, as you can see, black box. This is your typical, most popular one that was in these black boxes, 100% on the top, and they came in an acrylic case and so on. These are the most notable ones that I think everybody remembers. Oil cans, people remember them, but they were a little bit rarer than your black box stuff. And then this one I don't even have in the correct display case. I'm just trying to mock these up so you guys could see how they came and everything. But there she is, the purple one, and awesome car, nice detail. And the only thing that this one lacked is they didn't paint the front valence. They left it chrome because it's part of the grille. This one, on the other hand, though, they did get the detailing right. They painted it separately. And as I said, this is all one piece. So they took the time to paint that and run it through to be chrome and then paint it. This one they did not do that with. Still yet, pretty cool. Nice detail on the chassis. Beautiful tail light details and tampo details. Only thing that's missing, but it's not all Chargers came with them, was the go wing. I figured it would have the go wing, but hey, no big deal. Looks kind of cool and gives me an extra like variant of the Chargers. I have the 71 Charger Super B, 71 Charger RT with and without the go wing now. So then some with the louver insert hood and then some with the air grabber hood. So yeah, we have a bunch of different variants, so it's kind of cool to have one without a go wing. So anyways, let's move along to a window box, and this is an Ames exclusive. As you guys may remember Ames, if you're as old as I am, in your early 40s, you probably do remember this store. And it is Special Edition Classics 70 Roadrunner. Now, this is based on a mainline casting. I'm pretty sure the mainline was out when this car came out, because the mainline I think was launched in 97 or 98, and this car was launched in 99. So it would have been a 2000 release. So yeah, the mainline was already out. That's, like I said, this one is based on a mainline car. Actually, these wheels on it are plastic, but they're nice. I mean, and you guys may have seen this before in one of my Roadrunner B-body videos, but yeah, it pulls out, little insert, and then the blister kind of flips up. It had a tab holding it down, and the car comes out. And give me 1 second to put the box down and get back up here with the car. As I said, these multi-piece wheels are nice. It's like a 6-spoke chrome wheel with a black plastic tire with Goodyear lettering, so it looks good. Plastic chassis, but nicely detailed. I mean, they took the time to paint it, the dry shaft, the bottom of the engine and transmission, the gas tank. So pretty cool. Nicely done for a mainline car. I mean, it's not a mainline car. It was like probably $7 or $8. And for that kind of money, yeah, it is kind of disappointing, but the details they did to a mainline car is what I really like. Because as you can see, the bumpers and things are chrome. They are separate. So this is not your typical, I think, mainline chassis. I think this is a different chassis designed for this car, where you could have chrome bumpers, separate pieces. So I think that chassis is a one-off chassis for this casting. But the rest of it is based on the mainline. So really cool looking car. For plastic wheels, hey, it's not too bad. Nice detail on the front end, and that definitely is like the stock looking grille, I think, in my opinion. So anyways, let's move along to another one, and we have the 37 Chevy Pro Mod. These are really cool. I have one from another set that's based on BDS blower drive system, and it is a really cool car too, red and white. These have removable front clips, and we'll get him out and take a look at him. I did not screw these guys all the way down so it would be easy to get them out, because they will go back in my display case. As I said, these have been previously open and on display, but as you can see, they come in these nice acrylic cases. The Charger was not in the original one. This is the original. So, and then they just screw down 2 screws, and as I said, this guy's got the removable front clip, which is really cool. And as you can see, lift off. Fully detailed big block Chevy. Really nicely done. Painted parachutes. Everything's very accurately done. Because I remember watching this car, well, these style Pro Mod cars run at Norwalk in the late 90s at like Super Chevy Show, and this car is identical. I mean, they did a fabulous job with replicating these Pro Mod cars, and the Pro Mod cars were always a little smaller than the actual car, just like the Funny Cars and such, so the detailing on the scaling is accurate. So very cool car. Got the little moon eyes and Edelbrock stickers and Bell, and I think Snap-on, Goodyear, co-sponsor decals. So very cool car. And as you could see, it's just like a little pin in there, and then you just drop the front end back on. And thankfully this one, the rubber bands did not hurt the paint severely, but you could see a little bit there where it ate into the flame tampo just slightly. Not too bad though. This one doesn't have any kind of complications on the chassis. So, I'm trying to speed this up a little bit, guys, because we got 3 more. So, next different one, the way they packaged this one. This is one before the black box 100%. This is a black box in a display case, but also in a window box. So, it's like both, kind of. But this one's released from '99, and this was like just a Hot Wheel collectibles thing. This is when they were trying to, I guess, get an idea of how much people would like the series. I don't know. But you could see back for 1999, no, well, 98, I'm sorry. And it would be 99 release. $8 was a little bit steep back then, I guess, for a Hot Wheels car especially, because there wasn't a lot of collecting going on. Some, but it was just like 3 years after they launched the treasure hunt idea, and then I think RLC just launched in like 97, maybe 98. So it was not like extremely popular to collect Hot Wheels as like it is nowadays. And die-cast was not such a big deal then. So when you pulled this out of that window box, it still was a blister pack. So you actually had this blister that was glued down to that cardboard, and then you had the car in the acrylic display case. So they like triple packaged this thing. So it was like well packaged. So this one, unfortunately, you have to really rip the package apart. You could still put it back in if you wanted to, but you should get the rubber bands off of these cars. And this one did suffer some kind of damage. Nothing major, but I'll show you guys. Just let me get him off the base here. And this is based on a 56 Oldsmobile, which is a very cool casting. Never again seen this car by Hot Wheels. Only this variant. Maybe a couple of other race car variants, and that was it. But very cool. And as you could see, it did eat the little tampo of that one circle there. I'm not sure what that was supposed to say. And nothing really on the top of the fenders, just that circle tampo on both sides it got. This one not as bad. But on the bottom, this is the one I was talking about where it did get the engine just slightly, I mean, like barely, but it did. So you could see how brutal these rubber bands can be to these cars. The back end is not so detailed, but it's very detailed for a NASCAR because they would have taken out the tail lights and put in an aluminum panel like that. So very accurately done to represent a NASCAR. And this, I would have said, is probably one of Petty's first cars. Opening hood, detailed chrome engine. Once again, the aluminum plates over where the headlights would have been. So pretty nicely done. It's got a cage in it. the white stilly rims. So really cool car. Like this one in my petty collection. So still need to find some vintage racing stuff. And by the way, if you guys are still listening, if you have the Petty Torino vintage racing car, I will trade one-on-one with, or one for one with the AJ Foyt Torino or the Smokey Unique Chevelle. Just keep in mind if you have that and if you're residing in the Philippines. So we're down to our last two. Sorry, I thought I would throw that in there while I was on the topic of petty. This is really cool. This is a 56 Chevy 210 sedan, but pro street car. It's tubbed with a blower motor. Very cool car. Love this casting. Wish they would release it some more, but I have not seen it since, well, the early 2000s. They didn't even bring this back out at the 40th anniversary, what I can remember. But there are a few variants of this car, and they're all really cool. Was lucky to get this one and get it out of this package before it ate the paint, or before the rubber bands ate the paint. So let me get him off the base and give you a closer look at him. So there he is, and this is a really badass looking car. Big slicks, even the cut-off exhaust like a pro street car would have. Opening hood, and as I said, detailed blower motor, like blowing small block or big block, I can't tell. Maybe big block. Yeah, big block. It looks like it has split center ports. So I would say for a 56, it would 56 bow tie pro street, it would be a blowing big block if I was guessing. But really nicely detailed with the lights, the separate bumpers. Love this casting. As I said, unfortunately they did not make but like 3 variants in the 100% from like in 2000, and since then never seen this car again. So this would be a nice casting, even if they could make it one piece with all the bumpers molded to the body and release it again in the main line, it would be cool. But yeah, love this car. Beautiful. So, the last but not least is another race car, of course. And this is how they should have been packaged. This one I don't think had rubber bands. It had these plastic inserts to help hold the body down. That's what they should have thought about doing instead of the rubber bands. This is a modern, like late 90s Pontiac Firebird funny car. From Hot Wheels, Matco Tools. Very cool casting. And let me get him out. Take a look at him. There's also a blue and white Hot Wheels Racing like type paint job, like the Pro Mod 37 Chevy there. And I think they also released it in a couple of other series, even in the 40th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. But I may be mistaken on that. So there he is. Let's get him out and look at him. This is a really big casting, actually, and it's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of detail on this one. Give me 1 second to get that screw loose. I did put one screw in here, even though it has the plastic like blister things holding it down. Still wanted to be sure in case I drop the case when I'm doing the video, so don't want to break these. So there he is, and very nice details. And then that iconic Firebird nose, based on, like I said, 93 to 97 Firebird. This one also has detailed chassis like the 57 Chevy. Very cool. So these were great cars to collect, guys. Wish they would do it again. Even in the RLC. That's one thing about the RLC, though. They are starting to come out with some really cool stuff, like the Lamborghinis with the opening scissor doors and the gullwing door. Mercedes, and then the Porsche with the opening doors and opening well-tell hood in the back. Very cool. So this is it for our Monday premium. Went a little long, but I had a lot of them to show you and a lot of stories to tell you. And once again, get them rubber bands off your cars. So guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please remember to do so. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share the video. And on Wednesday, as I mentioned over the weekend, we will be doing an unboxing of a couple of team transporters. The one is an ultra rare variant that you do not see often at all. It's even rarer than the 5-spoke Merc that I was showing you on Saturday and the 4-spoke Fair Lady. This one's even rarer. So make sure you tune back in Wednesday for that, and enjoy the beginning of your week, and thanks for watching, guys.